Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Talking Fitchburg. It is Tuesday, May 19th. Hope you had a wonderful day and going into some warm weather coming in the forecast. So we got through the gloomy day today. Gets better from here. So got to get excited for that. We got a really jam-packed show for you. So I got to get right to it. Coming up, we'll talk about Fitchburg EMS and EMS week. Yeah, it's happening this week. We'll talk with Jeff Dosslick coming up here in just a little bit about what it means for our medics and EMS personnel across the district. And then we'll talk with Adam Dorn, Fitchburg Fire Rescue. We're talking a little bit about arson. Arson Awareness Week was earlier in the month. And we wanted to take the opportunity to talk. We've talked a lot about different topics, but this one's kind of interesting. It's more than what you think. That's all I'm saying. That's your preview. So stay tuned for that. Let's get right into it, though. We start with road construction in the Fish Hatchery Road construction project. Has some water shutdowns going on. Water main night work will begin tonight through Thursday, the 21st. And these will be happening in the overnight hours. So we have the one going on tonight, and then tomorrow night, 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. As a hydrant replacement, and then a cut-in valve at Dialysis Center on Wednesday, May 20th. That's at 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. as well. Traceway connection will be done on Thursday, May 21st, 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. So if you're affected by any of these areas, you can check in with, and we'll talk about it on our construction update on Wednesday. That's tomorrow. All right, Forward Fitchburg went into place, and want to give you kind of a snapshot of what that looks like. And here it is. Forward Dane is a plan of reopening Dane County. Look at the table starting on page 9 here as you're seeing an overview that shows by phase. New order is in place as of 8 a.m. Today. This is particularly helpful for businesses to see what they can do right now until phase 1 begins. Our data snapshot is all about the metrics we're using to guide us. And again, you can head to the website to learn more about this. Dane County Public Health in Madison. All right, Dane County Parks play an important role for residents in the well-being in the pandemic. If you haven't checked out one of our great parks, you should do so. Research shows that the impact of getting outdoors has people's mental and physical. It just helps you feel great. And it's proven scientifically. Yeah, during March and April, Dane County Parks saw an estimated 27% to 36% increase in park visitors from last year at this time. I mean, given the fact about COVID-19, I mean, it makes sense that more people are out there. So there are park guidelines out there, so we want to make sure you check those out. Just head out to the DaneCountyParks.com for more information. All right, told you it's a busy show. We got to get right to it. Coming up next, we open up the digest. We're talking about EMS week. That's next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh, no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
No.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today is Jeff Dosslick from Fitchburg EMS. Jeff, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful. Good morning.
Good morning to you, and happy EMS week. We got you on here to celebrate. You're always going to have a small part of my heart because a fellow EMT, which my license about to expire in a couple of weeks, and I haven't done anything. Is there still time? Is there still time that I can?
They actually extended it, so yes, you have time.
Yes. I just don't know if I'm ready to give it up. It's something I've cherished for, 10 years plus.
I've had mine since 1985, so there's no way I'm giving it up. I'll die with an EMT license.
Oh, right. I like it. And let's get into it first off, Jeff. This week, what are some of the typical things that we would normally see during EMS week?
So typical things, we've been very fortunate in the past. The hospitals for us have always done some nice things. They've put different treats out there. They do feed us most of the time in the hospitals, but they put some extra stuff up for us. UW has always been kind enough to do a barbecue for us. Meriter Hospital has done a barbecue for us in the past. Unfortunately, with the situation that we're in now, they're going to postpone that until later on in the summer for us. We thank our crews, and it's EMS week for some of us is we do this all the time, and we appreciate the thank yous, but there's so many people out there that are more deserving of stuff than we are, because granted our people work really hard, but when you say happy EMS week to them, they're like, well, but there's people that aren't working, and there's this and there's that, and that's our humbling part of our personality. But we do appreciate the kind words that people do give us, and we really appreciate the food that people put out for us, and the nice things that they do say. Patrick and I are very fortunate that we have a great staff full-time in our LTE staff, and we're adding to our LTE staff. As a matter of fact, today we'll do some more testing. So we're very fortunate to have really highly capable, competent paramedics that work for us, and to know that to know that when they go out on the street to take care of you, that you have some of the best in the area really taking care of you. And one of the reasons I wanted to come to Fitchburg when I got hired here as the deputy chief was because of the staff and the reputation that we have for being really good paramedics. And that's not to say that the other places don't have paramedics, because I think we're really fortunate in Dane County that we have great paramedics, and you're fortunate in this community to have paramedics around you in the town of Madison, in the city, in Middleton, and now Wanakee, and Monona. So there's lots of areas that have up their game, so to speak, and that makes for a great EMS system. We're fortunate to have that.
Yeah, EMS has changed definitely over the years, especially in Dane County, being more of a paramedic medic type of scenario. But that doesn't change the facts that you guys are training nonstop with the latest, best equipment, the best information. I mean, it's a tiered system of things going on, of continuing education and finding the best way to take care of people. And I think behind the scenes, those are the things that I think, should be shared during the week. As well, we thank everybody in EMS world for what you do. Kind of peeling back some of the layers that you guys have to go through besides just patient care is pretty impressive.
Yeah. So I think if you look at what EMS means this year, they always come up with a theme. And I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's here today and preparing for tomorrow, I think is what the theme is, or close to that. And I think back to the last, 6 to 8 weeks that we've been in, taking care of COVID, taking care of those patients, and to ask our staff to kind of go above and beyond and step up to, donning protective equipment and wearing masks on calls they normally wouldn't wear masks on, putting curtains in the ambulance, and all of those little things. It adds a lot of stress to the job outside of just taking care of patients. We have that extra stress that's on there, and I think across the country we've done a great job for sure. Here at Fitchburg, the staff has really stepped up, and anything that we've thrown at them as far as training, as far as PPE, and as far as the stuff that we need to do, they've jumped right in and helped, and that's really appreciated, because to try and stress over that as a manager, I know Patrick and I, all the other stuff that goes on, they've really been there for us to take care of that stuff. And that means an awful lot. And we are prepared. I think, the question is, what will this look like, a year from now? And I think we'll still be in the same boat of donning PPE and taking the necessary precautions. And that's the preparation that we bring to the table, as far as, the safety of not only our patients, and they can feel very safe that we've done those things, but also the safety of our staff, that we've done everything that we think I mean, it's going to change, we know, but we've done everything up to this point that has been, given to us, that's been CDC or Dane County Public Health or City Public Health recommended. And that, and that's being the prepared side of their life.
Jeff, changing gears just a little bit, although I'd love to talk to you about the future of what this looks like. A lot of people may not know the command and the training, but you actually practice under a medical director's license as a service. Talk about your medical director, or the consortium that you're in, that allows the medics to practice and do it, because I think that also is something you never hear about when it comes to the EMS. Something that I didn't know until joining, and it's pretty special. And we've got some great medical directors in Dane County.
Yeah, we do, for sure. Our medical director is Dr. Mike Mancera. As a matter of fact, congratulations, Dr. Mancera. He had a baby last week, so we're excited for the fourth child in his family and the first girl. So I'm sure that he's dealing with a lot of stuff now. But as far as our consortium is concerned, we have an agreement with UW Hospital that they provide medical direction, they provide training and education, they provide quality assurance. And that agreement is along with the City of Madison, it's City of Middleton, Fitrona EMS. Most recently, we've had Wanakee EMS join the consortium. And essentially, we operate under the same protocols. We have a training committee that meets. We have a QA committee that meets with the entire group. And we push patient care and protocol and initiatives forward as a result of one big group, as opposed to Fitrona doing their own thing or the city doing their own thing. It doesn't come without its challenges, because there's a lot of paramedics that are in the group, but I think that over the last couple of years, the training has gotten much better. Quality assurance is, we're working hard on that, and that makes patient care in the county even that much better for the residents that live here. And I can't say it enough that the paramedics that across the board, but especially with the consortium, we all know, we have a lot of experience as a group. We have a lot of experience that sit on some of those committees, and we push those initiatives forward, and makes patient care so much better. Our medical director spends, he trains with our department once a month. We meet once a month. We do run reviews in QA. The consortium provides training once a month on a couple of different days. Right now it's video. Obviously, we're doing a video training, but eventually we'll do some hands-on. They throw some hands-on training to us that we provide within the department. And I think it has some issues at times, but overall, I think it's gotten so much better over the last 5 or 6 years, and it'll just get better with, adding Wanakee into the mix, and their paramedics and their system. We're very fortunate to have that as a paramedic level ambulance service.
Well, you think of it as consistency across the board too. I mean, sure. Of course, EMS is trying to be consistent. We all have protocols. Counties have different protocols, but the message is clear: is that patient first, and or keeping yourself safe, and then patient first. Better not
right.
Screw that up.
Right.
You then me. But finally, Jeff, if you were going to say something to the employees this week, you get them all in a group and you're going to thank them, what would you say to the great staff at Fitrona?
Yeah, I would say thank you very much for the efforts that you put in for our department. I know Patrick and I appreciate it. We work really hard, to make sure that they have the things that they need. And, we know that they get up in the middle of the night and they run calls, and sometimes there's people that aren't very nice to us, and we deal with those very professionally. And I think it's I think it's really admirable that, when I get QA notes or I get patients that send patient surveys back to us, I think there's maybe been one in the last 4 or 5 years where somebody wasn't happy with our service. So I know that they work hard, and I appreciate, and I say it on behalf of Patrick as well when I say we appreciate everything that they do for us and the hard work that they put in.
Yeah, and everybody from Fact TV and beyond, we thank you all for what you're doing day in and day out. There's so much that goes into the EMS world, and it's very fascinating. A lot of fun to work in a team. And speaking as a former EMT and working for service, I think, you love to be out there and help people. I mean, that's what you got into it for, and you'll put in the extra time just to help that one person. So, Jeff, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Happy EMS week, and we'll be talking to you next week too. We got you like all month long, Jeff, secured.
Nice, I like it. Thank you very much.
We'll have you daily. That's what we're working on.
Awesome.
All right, that is Jeff Doslick, Fitchburg EMS. Make sure you say hi and thank you to all of the great EMS staff across Dane County, the U.S., the world. They are awesome. EMS strong. Take a quick break. We're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
Kevin, I need that back.
No.
Kevin!
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today is Adam Dorn for the Fitchburg Fire Rescue. Dorn, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Jeremy?
Well, I'm doing okay. You've had to sit here and listen to the at-home activities while we were waiting to get this interview started, so you've been having a heyday. But today we're going to be talking on a serious topic here, and it's something I guess I would have never, really thought about. And why don't you set us up here for protecting your homes against arson?
Yeah, so the reason we're talking about that is May 3rd through the 9th of this year is Arson Awareness Week. And during that week, every year there is a topic that comes out about arson awareness. The last couple of years, it's been preventing arson fires at construction sites or vacant and abandoned buildings, sometimes houses of worship, that kind of stuff. This year, it's about the investigation, arson laws, and you, meaning our first responders, people that are investigating the fires. So each year, just like National Fire Prevention Week, we try to focus on one aspect to make ourselves better and make the public more aware of Arson Awareness Week, and that it actually does happen. It's not just something you hear about or see in the movies. Yeah, we've actually had some cases in Wisconsin fairly recent. So, I mean, it does happen, unfortunately. So it's again, it's one of those topics that you really don't, I guess maybe you do think about it after any fire that, it's a potential, but protecting yourself, it's an interesting tie-in to this. Yeah, so protecting ourselves, our homes against arson, it really is a lot of common sense. A lot of it kind of comes down to what you would do to prevent any kind of a crime. You want to illuminate the exterior of your house if you can, and the entrances. You want to make sure that you don't have any obstructions, so that if people are driving by, they can see the front of your house. They can see where you go in and out of. Some of the other things inside of your home, make sure you have smoke alarms. I mean, it is a state law that you have to have smoke alarms in your home, but make sure that they're working. That's one of the biggest things you can do to keep yourself safe from any fire, is make sure that smoke alarms are working. And if you have the option to do it or the ability to do it, install a home fire sprinkler system in your home. Now, arsons just don't take place in homes. They take place in almost any kind of a building. So it's always good to have a fire sprinkler system, no matter what kind of a building you're in, because it reduces the likelihood of death by almost more than 82%, according to some statistics.
Wow.
And that's huge. We want to keep the doors and windows locked. We want to make sure that we have a clean house, that the yard looks clean, the interior of your house is clean, that we don't have a lot of extra stuff around, because when you have extra stuff laying around, that makes it really easy for somebody to get the thought to say, hey, I could just use this. It's all here. I can make that work. I can't go into a lot of detail about stuff because I don't want to be giving ideas to people. Unfortunately, people watch things and can use this against others. But, we want to make sure that our homes are clean on the outside and inside.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those. That's why it's kind of hard to talk about, because you don't want it to happen to you. But these are some simple tips. And I mean, besides just arson overall, I mean, these are great fire prevention tips anyway. So keeping your house clean. This cleaning up the vacant home one is probably really important. I would suspect if you're not occupying a residence, or maybe it's cottage or something.
Right. Yeah. A lot of times we think about the homes that we live in, but what about your vacation home, if you have one, or your cabin, or the family's land? It's not just the one that you reside in all the time. It's your other places that you may own as well. Maybe you let other family members use your property, or you have close friends that come in and use it. Make sure that you have a set of expectations that, hey, at night, this is what we expect, or before you leave, these are the things that we expect. That way we don't have other issues such as fires like this.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's, it's kind of a different topic to talk about, but definitely something interested in communicating. How about talking to youth about this? That we have some resources that you shared with me too on protecting the youth for fire starting or setting. I think it says here. Let me just go to it. How about that? I'm the button
Great.
pusher
Good. Yeah. So the Fitchburg Fire Department does have a youth fire setting program. It is designed for people under the age of 18. Really what this does is that it helps children understand why it is not a good idea to play with fire. Most of the youth fire setting that we see is children that are curious about fire and they want to know more about it, how it works, that kind of stuff. And through this program, we're able to help keep those kids from becoming a higher risk of possibly starting fires later on in their life and other aspects. A lot of times youth fire setting is not just curiosity about fire. Sometimes it can be different. There can be different motives, such as curiosity, or maybe they're just experimenting with it. Sometimes it's a cry for help. Others it's thrill seeking. And unfortunately, sometimes it is the willful intent to just cause destruction, or they have mental or emotional disorders and they don't know better. So through this program, we try to address some of those things. We can't address them all, but we try to get a good basis of what's going on, so that way you and your family are safe until longer term help can be established.
How do people get involved in that program, Doran?
So people can contact the Fitchburg Fire Department, or they can contact me directly through my email. And when they contact the department, they'll be asked a number of questions, because we do have a questionnaire that we want filled out. Basically, who was involved, what happened, that kind of stuff, who was with the child. And some of the big questions that we ask is, are there smoke detectors in your homes? Are they working? And has the child ever done this before? Because we want to make sure that your home and your family is safe, that we don't have to take other steps to make that happen.
Yeah,
One of the things that we do stress right away is that if you do bring them to the firehouse to talk about this, we're not here to give a tour of the firehouse and a tour of the trucks. That's not something that we want to do right away in this situation, because now it's almost a reward for the children that have exhibited this behavior that we don't want. So that's kind of how it works on our end. What can we do to prevent some of this, or hopefully prevent this? We want to limit the access to lighters and matches. We want to make sure that children are supervised. Right now, with the stay-at-home order through COVID-19 and stuff, supervision is pretty good. It's when everybody kind of goes back to work, I think we may see a little bit of a flux in this, because we have other things that we're going to be doing again. That's one of the great things about the stay-at-home order. We are able to spend a lot of time with our families that we wouldn't normally be able to right now. The other thing that is out there is that there's a lot of easy access to information on the internet. So as much as you hear elsewhere, you do really need to supervise your children when it comes to the internet usage, because they can get access to almost anything on the internet right now. Other things to think about is that make sure that you teach children that fire is a tool and not a toy. It's only used by adults. Like we said, we keep the matches and lighters out of place, out of sight. You yourself as an adult need to make sure that you're using fire with care and set a good example, because a lot of times children will just mirror what they see adults doing. And this is your chance to do that. So regularly inspect your home for fire hazards. Make sure your smoke detectors are working. A big one, also practice and plan your home fire escape drills. Make sure you have 2 ways out of every room in your house, no matter what. And if you can, like we said before, install a residential sprinkler system in your home. It is not that expensive. It can be retrofitted. It is a great thing to have.
All right, Dorn, great information as usual. I had to put up the information. I can put that back up. Your contact information right there on the homepage of the Fitchburg Fire Rescue page. So you can check out and call Andrew, or call Adam. I just wanted to call you Andrew all day today. I don't know why. Dorn, thank you so much for your help. Great information, something that you can talk with your kids with. And yeah, if you need and want to talk with the fire department, what a great opportunity to start that conversation. Appreciate the time as always. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, that is Adam Dorn, Fitchburg Fire Rescue. Always appreciate his time. Take a quick break. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.
I expected it to be a lot easier.
I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military.
I was a vehicle gunner.
An avionics specialist.
I was an MP, military police.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I was overwhelmed.
I couldn't sleep.
I just wanted to be by myself.
I didn't have a clear sense of what to do next.
I was too proud. And then I thought, if I'm going through this, other veterans have gone through it too, right?
I started to open up.
And it made a huge difference.
So I reached out, and I saw that I wasn't alone.
Because before I was able to take on my next mission, I had to take on just taking care of myself.
To find purpose.
We are not alone. Other veterans have transitioned from the military and overcome mental health challenges. Visit maketheconnection.net.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show for the day, I want to thank Jeff and Adam Dorn for joining us. Remember, you can stay connected with Fact TV. It's easy, fun, and for free. That's what I like to tell Andrew anyway. I've been charging him this whole time. Shh, don't tell anybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow, everybody. Have a great day.